It is now the next day. Welcome back to the vlogs.
Hello.
This is Clarice, my name's Brandon, and we're filming every day, travelling around the world. We're in Cambodia, we're in Phnom Penh, and we're just about to have our breakfast. I went for the Big Easy breakfast, which comes with a coffee, $6.50. And Clarice went for
a breakfast roll. I was meant to have a fried egg, but I like my eggs poached, so I got poached egg and a cup of tea. English tea.
English tea. So we've got the Killing Fields and S21 tour. Tuk-tuk's here, so we're going to go. Okay, so this is our driver. What's your name? Sujia. He's going to take us around to everywhere. We're at the S21 prison first, and then we're going to go to the Killing Fields after. I believe it's like a Cambodian Auschwitz. Well, we'll find out. So we paid $10 for Clarice's entry, which got the audio, and $5 for me without the audio. She's just going to tell me what it's been saying. Nice little way to save a bit of money. But yeah, I'll let you know what it's all about.
So these gravestones commemorate the last 14 people that died of S21.
So on the audio thing, it said it used to be a high school, and then it got turned into a prison. See all the barbed wire on the edges, and all up there where classrooms used to be are just metal bars and cells. Same with over there. Pretty cool. And this sign in the middle is basically like a declaration from loads of different countries saying like this will never happen again. As long as this is here, none of this will ever happen.
The next part of the tour explains this building. It all used to be the high school, but this particular building, when it was a prison, held all special people whose identities were wiped after the events. And we get to go inside at some point. When it was classrooms, they had ventilation, they had windows. When the Khmer Rouge came in, they boarded it all up, put iron bars, covered the ventilation so they couldn't breathe properly, and they're all tortured in there.
So it wasn't that red sign over here, it was this one. This is the declaration of different people saying it won't happen again. Memory of the World, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation. So there's a record of the prisoners that were kept in this room. The youngest one was 19. There's a lot of people in this room. So the pictures in all the rooms are of the people who were in the 14 graves outside. You can still see the watermark all the way around for where it was like flooded permanently. It's mental. So these were the rules that you had to follow. I've already read them, so if you want to look at these, feel free to pause it. So this is building A, and it has 10 cells, jailing, interrogating, torturing, everything went in these rooms. So we're now heading upstairs to a section that they labelled Childhood Without Colour. There's another floor upstairs as well. "17 years old, 18 years old. They only kept one prisoner in the room at a time. So they all got brought here and died on the same day.
There's pictures of the victims. I'm not going to show you exactly what it is, but they've got this strip of tape covering his face because they took like half of his head off. I don't think I need to explain what these stains are, especially when they correlate with where the blood was on the pictures.
So we're in this next building now, and it's basically telling you how they used to use the kids for work. And they've got clothes. If anyone wants to pause and read that, feel free. It's really interesting. It's a crazy place. So this resume from one of the kids, anywhere between 2 and 17 they could have been. So just in there's a total of 18,000 victims, only 12 survived, 4 of them were kids. 2 of them are still alive and living in Phnom Penh, and the other 2 they don't know their whereabouts. Thoughts so far? Shouldn't like it. Really interesting. It's just nice to learn a bit of history. You've just got to think as well, like this wasn't that long ago. 50 years ago. 75 to 79.
This wooden frame used to be a climbing frame for kids when it was a school, but when S21 took it over, it was referred to as the gallows executions. And the hooks are just up there, there's a little statue of a little guy there.
So, after they hung them, they would pass out from being hung, and then they would get put upside down in these barrels, like that, filled with human waste, to wake them back up and then start over again. We're just about to listen to number 7 to see what this is, and then we're into building B. So these are all the kids that were forced to work. It's all over there. The longer that you look at these pictures, the younger they get. So we're on to this one over here. It's crazy. So just in a sign that said, you may see distressing photos of victims that died of torture, starvation, or living conditions. So if it's that bad, I'll put a little timestamp to skip to if you don't want to see it. This is what he used to train them all up with. There's even more on this side. So these buildings we're in now used to be classrooms. Red cells out of bricks. This whole prison cell area. We've got the barbed wire. So inside the cells, they were given a metal box to excrete in and a bottle to piss in. And if they spilt any of it, they had to lick it up until it was clean. But now we're upstairs to different kind of cells. And these ones are all wooden. So if you make a noise in your sleep when you're chained to the floor, you get beat. So you're not allowed to move when you're asleep either. That's your cell. No beds, sleep on the floor. It's mental. So these were the 4 kids that ended up surviving, and these are the people who rescued them. 1979. So in this room there's actual bones and skulls of victims. Jesus Christ. This is mental. Even down here as well. Even more bones in there. This is insane. So, on that stand behind us there was one of the child survivors.
He wrote a book, biography about his experiences, and I was selling them here, which I want to buy one, but they're quite expensive.
Yeah, it's really cool though. Just been past 2 more survivors, but they were the adult survivors, not the child, so they were a lot older. One of them 12 days into all of his beatings and torturing, they realised that he was a mechanic before they came, and that's how he managed to stay alive, and just fixed typewriters and then started recording all of the confessions and writing them down.
One of the interrogators asked if he could fix a typewriter. When he did, he got loads of food and got put to work as a mechanic, so...
Interesting. We're now leaving S21 and he's taking us to the killing fields, which I've got a feeling is going to be a little bit worse. So we've now made it to the genocide centre where the killing fields are. We're heading in now. No drone footage, so I can film here as well. This one's going to be a bit more difficult. So this is your first stop. This place here was where they brought a truck 2 or 3 times a month, 20 to 30 people, and they would come blindfolded, get off the truck and be executed at the pits, or were sent to be detained. But he was just saying 3 million out of the 8 million Cambodians were killed. And the person on the audio is a Cambodian that survived it all. Back with his father and one of his sisters, but the rest of his family, he had 4 sisters and 2 brothers. The rest of them are missing. Don't know if they died or they got like set free or escaped. It's crazy, it's mental. But he's just said, imagine in your country, 1 in every 4 people got killed by your own people as well. So over 20,000 Cambodians were killed at this killing field. There's over 300 killing fields in Cambodia. So in front of me now is a grave where 450 bodies were found. Mass grave, 450 victims, just all in here. He's telling me about it now, so I'll give you a bit more information. So all throughout all the greenery, anywhere where there isn't a path, is where there's just more and more mass graves. But some of them have been preserved with the roofs on, like over here, like this one. It's mental. And this map here, all the red dots are mass graves. We're in Phnom Penh at the moment. So none of the prisoners were actually shot with bullets because they were expensive, so they just used whatever they could find lying around. So gardening tools, hammers, axles off a car, bamboo posts, and just hit them. And if they weren't dead, they were shoved into a pit with chemicals. So this is a former Chinese grave before the genocides happened. You can still see teeth and bones and stuff surfacing in the rainy season. But they're everywhere along here as well. Not just there. There's a bit there. Here. He keeps referencing on the audio that it used to be a really peaceful and beautiful place where they'd just grow rice and fruit trees, and you can still see all the fruit trees around you. But it is just really peaceful. You've just got trees everywhere, a nice lake in the middle, the birds around you, and then mass genocide. So just having a wander around now and listening to stories and testimonies from people who survived. And one of them was saying that he witnessed one of the killings. One of the workers was found with 2 bananas on her, got blamed for stealing them. So the guard grabbed a hatchet off his back and just went to town, and then grabbed a hoe for cleaning out the sewers and the gutters, and went for the neck, and then she died. And everyone else was forced to watch, and if you didn't watch, you were killed as well. It's crazy. And another story was a woman who had an 8-month-old child with her. Lost the baby because she couldn't produce enough milk to feed him or have any time to feed him because she was always having to work, so she could only feed him at night. And they're the 2 stories that I've listened to so far. There's another 7 stories. All of it's like really hard to listen to, but the area's so beautiful and peaceful, even though all of this stuff happened. So this grave was for traitors, people who were siding with Vietnam and saying it was wrong what they were doing. So 166 victims without their heads because they were thinking Cambodian body, Vietnamese head. So they got rid of the heads and buried them here. So in this box here is clothes that they found after 1980, so just clothes that have surfaced, and there's a bone in there as well, but it's like rags and cloths, and if you look in there close enough you can see children's clothing and string that they use to tie up people with as well. So this next grave was women and children and babies. This is called the killing tree, and they would grab babies by the legs, smash their heads against the tree, and then chuck them in the pit. So the person who discovered where this grave was looked at the tree, and there was remains of hair, brains, blood, skull, bone fragments. It's absolutely brutal. So these are all bones that have been collected from graves when they surface. Every few months the caretakers find more and add it as a memory. So this tree that's behind me was used to hang speakers off of. So at night when they were killing and torturing and executing people, people on the outside just thought that it was like a party, just normal Cambodian music. It's just mental. And when you look around, you can just see pieces of clothing everywhere and just memories to, yeah. I don't actually know if I've mentioned, but all of these pits and divots in the ground, they're all mass graves as well. Just haven't been built around or put a roof on it. So this building is the memorial stupa. It was built to preserve it and honour the memory. 17 floors. Ground floors for the clothes. First to the 9th floor is skulls, and then 10th to the 17th is all different kinds of bones. And you can go right up, but you've got to take your shoes off. So all of the skulls, there's over 9,000 skulls, and they were all examined to figure out how old they were, and then they've been put on the tiers depending on the age of the person. So on the bottom there, you can see all the clothing, and then all the skulls. So on that one there it says over 60, and it just gets younger and younger. On the way back, and there's just casually a Rolls Royce. We've got a security team behind them, 2 security guards on a motorbike. Important guy.
Can you guess what I've got? Good guess.
And that was Clarice's poor attempt at doing what we had for lunch. She had a cottage pie. I had a steak and rocket salad. Both had a drink each, $13. Cambodia is expensive, but we've got one more day. And then we've got to Vietnam. Nice and cheap. So, me and Clarice swapped beds, and I'm on this one. She has to climb up the ladder, but I do it the fun way. Quite a bit of time has passed now. Clarice has had a little nap, we've had a chill, watched a bit of a film that we're watching. And now we're going to go out. We're going to go for a few drinks and see what the nightlife is like in Phnom Penh. We can have a lie-in tomorrow, chill, wake up, and go and explore the city, have a walk around without a sat-nav. We'll let you know what we find. We had no money, so we had to get some money out. And it gave us a $100 bill. Nowhere changes it, but we needed to buy our bus anyway. So we bought our bus to Ho Chi Minh for Sunday, paid with the 100. And now we're finally sat down to have tea at 10 p.m. But not before a quick game of pool. Food has arrived. Clarice went for a pumpkin cream soup, and I went for pasta Alfredo. I've already eaten half my prawns. I had about 4 prawns on there. Bit of calamari, bit of broccoli, bit of squid. It's pretty good.
Ooh, that's thick. So we left the restaurant, the food was very mid. Paid, left, and now we're walking to a street in Phnom Penh that's like good for nightlife. We'll find out though. See you there.
So we've made it to Street 136, and every single bar, and I mean every single bar, has about 20, 30 Cambodian women sat out front of them. Every bar.
I hear them screaming in a minute.
They aren't customers, they work there. Every bar. Maybe not this bar, but most of them. So, me and Clarice walked into the bar, and none of the girls outside followed. 3 lads walking, all of them followed. And now it's just full of people. But we're playing pool. And when I said every bar was like that, it was every bar.
We've been out for less than an hour,
Yeah.
and we're back in the hostel.
Like any bar we went in was just single guys surrounded by Cambodian girls. And that was it. So it's a bit boring for us.
Honestly, my whole impression on Phnom Penh is prostitutes, dirty roads, mid-food, and mean people.
Yeah. So we're going to go and explore tomorrow. I think we're going to have a walk in the general direction of the Royal Palace, see how much it is to get in there, and just go from there. So that is going to be the end of today's vlog. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.